I tako smo došli do kraja još jedne epizode BEConnected podcasta. Nadamo se da vas... BEConnected Cinema. Shit, ok. Hoće neko klapniti ili... Dobar dan i dobrodošli u još jednu epizodu BEConnected Cinema Podcasta. Kao što smo već i prije davno zaključili, znamo da jako puno mladih ljudi, pogotovo visoko educiranih, odlazi u inozemstvo u potrazi za poslom, za boljim statusom, za kvalitetnim životom. Danas ćemo upravo obrađivati tu temu, ali iz jedne drugačije malo perspektive. S nama će u principu biti gost koji dolazi iz Velike Britanije i koji se preselio upravo u Hrvatsku, tako da će nam iz svoje perspektive objasniti kako jedan život izgleda za jednog 23-godišnjaka u Hrvatskoj. So, welcome Owen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you very much for coming. First of all, kako si?
Puno dobro. Ti?
Ja sam super.
Dobro.
Okay, so let's start with some questions. Let's just go like straightforward to the point. Why did you choose to come to Croatia?
Main thing would be my Croatian girlfriend. Big factor in coming to Croatia for sure. But even before I met her, when I was like 15, 16, my parents would ask me like where I want to go on vacation, things like that. And the classic British parents, they go to the same place for 20 years, never change. But I would always say Croatia.
Was that a Spain, by the way?
Yeah, Spain. Well, yeah, an island off of Spain, Menorca or Mallorca.
Okay.
It's literally just those two where people go. Anyway, there was a poker player. He did like vlogs on YouTube, and he went to live in Split. This was like 2016. So I used to watch all of his vlogs, and I was like, oh wow, this looks like a really good place. He's playing poker. In the evening, he can go to the beach, like he can do what he wants. Everyone seems friendly. And the cost as well. Super cheap here compared to England, for sure. Like, for example...
This is where I wanted to like point out the next question. I would like, so you lived in like few different places in your life.
Yeah,
you lived in UK, you lived in Malta, right?
Yeah, Malta.
Okay.
Yeah, Malta was good. It's a good place. It's a bit like a desert at times. And by that I mean, have you ever been to Malta before?
No, unfortunately not yet.
It's a nice place, but if you're in the middle of nowhere, Malta, it's like there's not much around. But there's a massive community there of poker players because around 2011, the USA banned online poker, and most players are from the USA. So a bunch of really high-level names went to Malta, and they formed like an expat kind of community. So loads of people for poker go there. That's kind of why I went there as well, because I went at the end of lockdown in the UK. There's like 3 countries you can go to. It was like Malta, Iceland, and somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, well, Malta is hot and I like good weather, so I went there. And yeah, it's really cool, especially for a young person, because most poker players are young as well. So there's always like a 5-a-side game going on, always places to go out, great beaches. And after that, I was in Croatia, in Rijeka for a bit. I lived in Cannes.
Oh, okay.
In
nice.
France. That was really good, but it was a very expensive place. A rent was okay, but food and stuff just ridiculous. Like,
can you like compare between like 4 that you live now? So it was UK, it was Malta, it was France, and it was Croatia. Can you just compare like the cost of living in general? You can do like food or how hard is it to find the accommodation, because we know in EU it's not even like that easy.
So in Malta and France, well actually Malta, France and Croatia, food is much more expensive than the UK.
Yeah, unpopular opinion, but
yeah. I think it's just because in the UK, it's probably like economies of scale. I think that's how you say. Like they produce so much, it's cheaper.
Makes sense.
But yeah, especially France, like there's just ridiculous prices. Like even we were shopping in like Aldi, and it was still like insane prices. So that's one downside, but that doesn't really affect your wallet that much. Rent in Croatia is really good. It's fantastic. I pay like 600 euros for rent, and it's me and my missus, so divided by
Is it in
two.
Zagreb or Rijeka still?
Zagreb,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's only 300 each, which is just insane. Like, if you want to live in the capital anywhere else, like say if I lived in London, there's minimum like 2.5k, like for one bedroom apartment. And we have a 1-bedroom apartment as well here, but we could have a much better place for the same price, but we had to rush through to get the place. So yeah, rent in here, that really helps make the cost of living cheaper for me. Because if this was in the UK, like, it's just, there's no, for someone who can work anywhere in the world, there's not much point living in the UK just for things like that, like rent, bills, council tax, like, it's just crazy.
But do you want to come back to UK eventually one day, or are you just gonna avoid it? I mean, it's not something that you would prefer to go again.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it that much. Like, maybe if I have kids, I would want to live in the UK just because I know it, because I've been there most of my life. And the like education is pretty decent. I mean, I think it is here as well, but I'd be more comfortable there probably.
Okay.
But yeah, when you're young and you can work anywhere, I just want to travel and check out other places, because you can travel and save money at the same time if your rent is cheap as it is here. From a UK's person perspective, if you're living in the UK and you're trying to save up a deposit for a mortgage, it's pretty difficult. Especially if you just you start like a normal career path where you have to work your way up. It's going to take you a while to get that initial chunk of money. So yeah, I think.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
like
it makes sense.
Cool. Yeah,
Here, I mean, you have every like benefits in every country. It's a little bit different. But let me ask you one question. I mean, you already mentioned that you play poker. So the very interesting thing about you is that you don't follow like conventional path of career. You started playing professional poker. Usually people, I mean, all around the world have like stigma on these types of things. But actually what it takes is a lot of knowledge, skill, and also you need to like learn every day. Can you tell us a little bit about what you like acquire the most?
So I think what makes me a profitable poker player, a good poker player, I give myself that compliment, is a discipline. I think is the main thing. I'm not saying I'm the most disciplined person in the world, but I can get myself into a routine. I try to wake up at the same time every day.
So some kind of rituals or...
Yeah, and there's so there's many things I do before I start playing. For example, I meditate every day.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, they'll probably understand this. It's a stressful game. Not for the reasons you might think, but it can take a toll on you. So if you meditate before you play, and just get yourself in a state of like mental clarity, it makes the game so much easier, because what the game is basically you have a very small amount of time for very complex decisions. So you don't want anything else going on in your head. So if I meditate beforehand, I'm nice, I'm calm, I'm relaxed. I can just drill through spots really easily. So I do that. I journal as well. That just helps like clear your mind. And for like a recovery kind of part, I stretch every day as well, because you spend a lot of time sitting down, you get stiff, and it's just not good. Like, if I didn't stretch every day, by the time I'm like 40 or something, I'm just going to be destroyed. And it's just not going to be good.
Every 9 to 5 worker.
Yeah.
Also, it's a good. I mean, it's also like a good thing that you do every day, no matter the work that you do. Like meditate, you journal.
Yeah.
You just make sure that you are aware of your mindset always.
Yeah.
So that's actually very, very nice. But what kind of skill did you acquire? Like, do you think that it influenced your way of thinking? You're making decisions, for example.
Yeah.
Like everyday decisions.
For sure. Like, the thing with poker is, basically, it's like a more forgiving version of chess, right? Because in chess, it's all strategy, there's no luck. In poker, in long term, it's 90% strategy, but there's still luck. You still have to get lucky. That's just how it is. So in poker, you can do the whole day. You made everything, all the decisions correct. You can still lose because there's an element of luck. So I think because I've been playing for so long, if something goes wrong in my life, like I don't mean wrong like a massive issue, but if something happens and I did everything to prevent it, I did everything right, but I didn't get the outcome I want, it's very easy to just brush it off now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Is what it is. Like a lot of people say that is what it is, but it's true.
But plus the poker, you also do sports, a lot of different sports in Croatia, right?
Yeah, so I was just going to five-a-side for a bit, football.
Okay.
But I only did that for a little bit. It was cool, but I didn't enjoy it that much. I just, like a social thing to do. So I did that for a bit. Go to the gym as well. You can probably tell I'm a great specimen of a man. Yeah, going to the gym. Gym here is cool as well. The gym is really close to my house, so that's really handy. And I started training jiu-jitsu as well a few months ago.
That's actually a very uncommon like choice for Croatian people. They usually do like football or basketball or something like this.
But yeah, jiu-jitsu, something I was always interested in, just being a fan of like UFC and stuff, and listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. He's always talking about jiu-jitsu, so I was like, oh, I really want to try this. So I went to the gym in Zagreb, Grindhouse gym, and yeah, everyone there was super friendly. Like the coach is super nice. All the people there were cool. I was quite amazed, to be honest, because before anyone walks into like an MMA gym or like combat sports gym, you have an element of nervousness. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Not like I was expecting anything bad to happen, but it's just like, oh, is this going to be a bit rough? Especially because like I'm a foreigner as well, so don't speak the language. But yeah, like my first class there, they recognized I was English, and they just did the class in English for me. I didn't even have to ask. Yeah, they're like so kind. Like. So doing things
do you
like
think
that.
in general that people in Croatia are open or like friendly? Do you think it's like easy to make new friends as a foreigner?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it different than the UK or anywhere else you lived? Was it difference, the main difference?
I think it's very similar to the UK, especially with how kind people are.
Okay.
For example, some of my friends here that have been to the UK, they're like telling me they thought everyone there loved them just because of how like polite people are in the UK. But as a foreigner here, I find that as well. Like, if I'm like, oh, oprosti, mali Hrvatska, like, and I speak broken Croatian. Like, they have like a huge smile on their face. They'll speak to me in English.
Like me now.
Yeah. And in general, I think just really helpful. Like, is a nice culture here. And in the other places I've been, I wouldn't say that it wasn't like that. I just think because I've been here longer, I've had more experience of it. But yeah, super friendly people here, and yeah, I really enjoy it. Easy to make friends.
That's actually very important. I mean, when you live abroad, when you move, okay, I mean, you had your girlfriend here, so this was like easier because you were alone. Yeah. But making friends can be quite tricky sometimes. It can be like a deal breaker to whether stay somewhere or go to the next destination or maybe go back home or something.
Yeah, and it's when you're like self-employed, like you're working from home, you don't have that given social aspect. For example, if you work in an office, you're forced to meet people, so
you don't mingle with like your coworkers or something.
For me, I have to like find things like on Facebook, like the five-a-side, throw myself out there kind of thing.
I mean,
yeah, things like that.
It's different.
But it's cool. Like after you've done that a couple of times, it's not scary or anything. It's one of them things.
It makes you manage. But is there anything that you actually find like weird about Croatian people, or something that we do, or maybe something that we eat, just our like daily habits? Did you find anything like particular, like
in particular, I think it's just one thing. It's like kava. Not just going for coffee, but like I'll be walking, say I'm going to the store, I need to get something. It'd be like 11 a.m. and there'll be like 4 guys just like sitting having a coffee. But I think this is kind of a European thing, to be honest. Because in England, like, that just wouldn't happen. Like, everyone would be at work. And I'm not saying these people didn't have work that day. Like, maybe later on in the day they would. But it just seems that in Europe, and Croatia in particular, it's much more relaxed. Like, people aren't rushing around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on the country, of course.
Yeah,
You're in the UK, it's more like used to just picking up the coffee and just storming off to like another work or somewhere. People are just like fast.
Yeah, I think in the UK, it's like a faster way of life.
Yeah, of living in general.
Yeah, and I do like how relaxed it is here. At times, it's a bit frustrating. Yeah, but overall, I think it's a good thing. And maybe we could do a bit more of that in the UK.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is a nice combination of the cultures. Okay, so now I have one game for you. Since you already showed your impressive knowledge of Croatian, you're broken at Croatian. So I'm gonna just take something, and we're gonna play actually a small game. In this game, we're gonna show you 5 different pictures. It's just gonna be associations. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try to guess those actually like items or things. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't know the word, let's skip, okay?
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
you can be open with this. I'm just gonna do this and okay.
Krumpir. That is a krumpir.
Okay.
Potato for the English listeners. Some lovely feet there. Stoppolo. Stoppolo? Stoppolo, that. Stoppolo. Haha. My favorite. It's prosciutto, in it. Yeah, prosciutto. Prosciutto. Dobra. This looks like a chicken. So that would be piletina. Correct? Yes. 4 for 4. Doing good. Ooh. We've got Griezmann
Very
there.
popular Croatian games.
Nogomet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nogomet. 5 for 5.
This was perfect. 5 out of 5.
I've been learning.
You're officially Croatian now.
Hvala.
Okay, so Owen, thank you very much for joining us, for coming here,
Thanks for
sharing
me.
your story. I tako smo došli do kraja još jedne epizode BEConnected Cinema Podcasta. Nadamo se da vam se sviđa ovo što radimo tu. Možete nas slobodno podržati sa lajkom, sa šerom ili se prepratiti na naš kanal, tako da možete uživati u još sadržaja.